Hey everybody, welcome back to another post show where we sit in these orange chairs and we talk about what we just experienced. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Although I'm kind of mad this week. I didn't wear my orange hoodie that almost matches the chairs. I kind of just disappeared last week. But yeah, doing good.
Yeah.
Just bracing for the cold that's coming.
Yeah, it is on its way.
Yep.
For sure. Hey, if you joined us for our service, you're watching live, you can continue to interact with us. Layla's here. She's got her computer here. She has been in the chat all morning, and we'd love to interact with you. So if you have comments or questions, shoot them along as we debrief everything that we just experienced. What do you guys think of this morning? Holistically, taking a big step back, what was something that impacted you this morning?
The new song. I dug it. It was fun.
Yes, it's a good song. It's called Goodbye Yesterday. Elevation Worship sings it.
Yeah.
Elevation Rhythm.
Elevation Rhythm.
And it's
which
always
is
great
different,
when Matt,
right?
It is different.
Yeah. It's just
And it's always great when
different
Matt gets
subset.
to shred. So
Yeah.
Always fun. Always fun. Yeah, that was a good song. A nice way to kick off the service. Nice and upbeat and a lot of high energy.
Yep.
We're gonna get our people moving one of these days. One of these days.
it will happen.
We'll see.
It's nice to have Pastor Dave back.
It is. For anybody who doesn't know, he has been battling bronchitis and sinus infections, and it's been destroying his voice. So for him to be back, yeah, it's good.
It is good.
So where I was sitting today, I kind of nestled in the top corner, and I happened to notice how much spit comes out of his mouth when he's talking. And I was like, note to self, not ever sitting in the front row. And he made a joke about that at the beginning.
He's made many
might
jokes
cough
about
up
this over the years.
And I was like, whoa, I never noticed it before. It's not a great answer.
You
but
know what though?
it
When
comes
he gets
to mind.
going, it's sometimes it just comes flying
Yeah.
out.
To be fair, we would all do that
I
because
do.
there's that many lights shining on you.
Absolutely.
Thankfully, going through life, that doesn't happen because we would never leave our houses knowing all the spittle that's going out in the world.
Yeah, but you always know that one guy that always talks a little too close.
Oh, yeah.
And every once in a while you get that. And you're like,
You're like, dude, it's Matt.
Well, with Dave preaching, we always know it goes just a couple of extra minutes longer. We started just a little bit late in our post show, so we're going to try to jump right into it.
Let's hit it.
Because we only got about 10 minutes or so to kind of talk through this. Here's the first question, because obviously today everything was about prayer. And so I'm just going to ask you guys, because what we want this post show to be is a real reflection of the conversations people are having after the services. So here's the question. How's your current prayer life?
I knew it. It was one of those things. Yeah. Right now, I'll be honest, it's consistently inconsistent. Like, it's one of those things. Things are going great, and I hate to say it. When things are going great, I should be thinking about it, but it's one of those things where I'm like, I got to pray tomorrow. And then like something happens or I'll get busy and then I'll be like, I'll just do it tomorrow. So it was funny. Before Dave's message, I set myself before we left home, a daily thing about pray dummy. And it's actually in my phone. It says pray you dummy.
Oh my gosh.
Cause that's I'll see it.
How do you have that set in your phone?
I have a daily,
Is it
calendar
in your calendar
reminder.
app?
Yep.
Calendar reminder.
So that way I get it every morning, and I've got it set to alert me 15 minutes before I said to do it. So, yeah.
You can set that up on the YouVersion app as well.
Yes, which I now plan on doing that afterwards.
Yes,
I
which
have that
we're
reminder
going to
as
get
well.
into in just a little bit. I don't want to jump too far ahead, but yes, there's so many tools that you can do, and there's one tool that we'll be talking about here in shortly that hopefully more people will get involved with.
But that's mine. I'll be.
Yeah.
Yep. I am always honest on this show, and it's
That's what we want. That's what we want.
Yeah, I feel like I'm all right. The one thing that gets to me a little bit is I feel like it's something that I've like implemented into my schedule, so it's like a task rather than this natural like relational thing that it probably should be. But the consistency has gone way up.
good.
So win some, you lose some. Keep trying to progress.
Yeah. And that you bring up a good point though, because that can be it can move from this desire to have that relationship into that task mentality. And so there's safeguards that need to be put in place or checks to make sure that you are, putting the right motivation into what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I share lots of similarities. One of the misconceptions that Dave brought up was that prayer is like a fire extinguisher. That's me. I'm often like, wee something emergency. Hey, yeah, God.
Me again.
Yeah. Like, so I've been absent for a minute. But yeah, and I think, and I've said this before too, but I really want to be a little bit more intentional and like formal with my prayer, because I think a lot of times it's like this exchange, this ongoing exchange in my head, and I think that counts still too. But sure. I just feel like it resonates differently when I do it in different ways.
Right.
So.
Well, and you brought up something that we're going to jump into. Dave had 5 different points that he had talked about of how prayer sometimes gets utilized, right? And these are really the wrong ways to utilize prayer. The first one was, he called it a magic wand, right? Kind of that genie in the
Wingardium Leviosa.
Yeah. Fire extinguisher, a wrestling match, the acts of penance, and like a therapeutic exercise. So out of these, and you've touched on that, you're like fire extinguisher all the time. Like, I'm putting out these fires, please, Lord, save me. Is there something that jumped out with any of these that you're like, yeah, that really resonated with me? I tend to default to prayer for this purpose.
Well, I think the act of penance, at first I was like, what? But when Dave started talking about it, 'cause I'm like, that's a big word, Dave. But, where he was explaining it a little bit more, how it can like feel like a punishment or something you're forced to do. Not to say that I feel like prayer's ever been a punishment, but when I try to make it a little bit more formal, it feels weird, right? Like, and I've done a couple different, like, church group-led activities, and it was just like unnatural. So I see what he means by that call out, and it just made me think a little bit more. And one of the verses he highlighted was essentially saying that prayer is supposed to be a time that fills us with joy, but I, like everything, can like overthink something, so it felt like very robotic, and so I can see how it could lead to that for others. It didn't get to that level for me, but it felt very, at times, scripted when I was trying to be more formal, and
Sure.
you know what I mean? It just didn't feel supernatural. So
Yeah, and it's super easy, I find, a lot of times when things are going good and then I get mad at myself for not praying, the act of penance really gets in, because then I start to beat myself up during prayer. And I'm like, this is not what this time is for.
Right,
this is time to talk with him. Like, when we talk, I don't beat myself up while we're talking to you about stuff. We're just hanging out and having fun. That's what I should be doing with prayer. So then I start thinking that, and I act of penance even more. So it's like one of those things. So,
I have a question. Do you guys think that like when I was first learning to play the guitar, everything was uncomfortable and like super, but now it is like one of the most natural things. Do you think there's an element of that to it as well? Like just getting used to being in prayer with the Lord?
Oh, 100%. Yes. Yes.
Yes. It's interesting because, the disciples right there with Jesus, and one of their questions to him was, teach me how to pray, right? So there is a learning to this. There is an understanding that this is not a simple thing. And even when you get to the point where you're like, okay, this is starting to feel more natural, prayer is not always an easy thing, right? We look at Jesus in the garden, and he's praying, and he is sweating drops of blood. Like, the prayer is so intense, and it's that connection that he has with God. So, yes, I do believe that there is a learning curve to it. There is some stumbling blocks, right? It is about creating rhythm. It is about creating a pattern and creating that habit, right? And any habit, you build a little, and then you have to break that down, and then you build. It's just like building a muscle, right? You work the muscle, then the muscle, has to heal, and then you build it again, then it has to heal. which is going to really jump us in. I want to, for time's sake, I just kind of want to jump into the end here, because really what Dave has challenged us with this week is the beginning of this 30 days of prayer, and which may not seem like much. It may be really easy to start, right? Day 1 might be
I'm
real
all
easy.
in,
Day
yeah.
2, it was still on board. Day 3, day 4, day 5, by day 6 and 7, it's about follow through and the commitment. So, but the whole point of this is to what would happen to our church here, what would happen to our community or this state or this country if we decided we were going to be a people of prayer. And that's really what this is building on. What happens to you? What happens to me? What happens here that changes if we truly become a people who are devoted to prayer every single day? And so we have this 30-day prayer challenge, and we have these cards. I'm going to give them to you. Here.
Thanks.
Muchas gracias.
So these cards, what we're going to do, it's not available right now digitally. I will put this on our website. I'll try to put it on today or tomorrow. I'll try to put it on so everybody can get a digital link to this. Cool. But this is our prayer card, and there are 5 different parts of this. The first one is our prayer app. We're trying to get everyone to use one centralized app, and that's the YouVersion Bible app. So if you have any phone,
it's a great
any
app,
smart
though, too.
device, you can download. It's called YouVersion Bible app, and go to the More section, select prayer, and you'll go through a way that you can create prayer requests, share prayer requests, set prayer reminders. It's a great thing. Matt mentioned it a little bit earlier. The second thing is we're going to have a consistent day of prayer here at the church. We're so limited on space here, right? We have kind of the bare essentials, but one room that we do have that's open is our conference room, and that's going to turn into our prayer room. So every Wednesday, our conference room will become the prayer room, and that will be open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., and that will go through the duration of this series through basically the middle of February. So for the next month, we're going to open this up, and people can come in. It'll be an opportunity for people to either come in by themselves or bring groups of people in. And in the prayer room, we'll have lists of prayer requests and ways for you to get involved. It'll be really cool.
It's cool.
You can also... we have staff prayer, so the pastoral staff and the prayer team will be praying for your submitted prayer requests. So you can always go to our church app, or you can go to our website and you can fill out a Connect card and submit your prayer requests. And we have people that constantly will be praying for you and praying for your prayer requests. And you can join our 30 Days of Prayer group. And this is, if you go to our website and you click on Find a Group, or you can go to if you go to the Next Steps tab on our website and click Find a Group, you can join our group and the different ways to get involved. So this is our 30-day prayer challenge that we're going to try to be pushing everybody to. So as we look at this, are you guys excited about this? Are you going to participate in this? Is this going to become part of your daily routine? What do you guys think?
Yes, it is. I mean, clearly God was putting something on my heart, because I was doing I was kind of planning this before this message hit. And when Dave was saying it, it's like I was sitting, there's those moments where you're sitting there and it's almost like the room goes dark and there's just a light on you and you're like, okay, I get it. Like, this is one of those. So
This is for me.
This is for me. Yeah. So of course, plus 30 days, I think 30 days is what it takes to kind of create a good habit.
It is.
Which is why probably also we're doing this. So yeah, I think that'll be great for all of us to do.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, follow that, Matt.
Yes, period. Done.
Yeah. Well, we hope that you guys will join us on this 30-day prayer challenge as well. There's definitely ways that you can get involved. Please connect with us through our website, my3c.org. You can fill out a Connect card. You can fill out your prayer requests that way, or you can just connect with us. Yep. You can always ask us questions. We would love to get in contact with you and find ways for you to get connected with us here at Connections. So I will get this on our website early this week, either today or tomorrow, and that way everybody can have that if you're just watching online. Thank you for joining us this week. We're excited to see what God is going to do over the next 30 days as we join him in prayer. All right. Here at Connections, we love you. We thank you so much for watching, but more important, God loves you, and we'll see you next time.